Welcome to Land Academy. This is the Cash Flow from Land show, where we show you how to buy unwanted vacant land and sell it for more on the internet. I'm Steve Butala.
I'm Jill DeWit.
We are your hosts. With over 15,000 completed transactions, we are the experts in this niche land flipping business.
We hold a drawing to win a free property every month. Enter to win by reviewing this show on iTunes and downloading our free ebook at landacademy.com. All right, let's get this show started.
Stephen, Jack Butala for Land Academy. Welcome to our Cash Flow from Land show. What's this Jack business?
What?
Hey, we provide free information through this show and inspiration that helps you buy property for half. In this episode, Jill and I talk about how some people get it and some don't get it at all. I promise, Jill, I'll be professional and as nice as possible today on this topic because some people don't get it, and we're going to talk about it. Jill, it sounds like a fun, silly show. Before we start, let's take a question posted on successplant.com by one of our members, on our free online community.
Okay. Bob from Pittsburgh asks, so I'm currently in the process of setting up an LLC for my real estate investment company. I'm looking for recommendations as to which route I should take to set this up. I'm going to toss up between hiring a real estate attorney who will charge me about $500 to file all the paperwork, or choosing an online company like Rocket Lawyer or LegalZoom, which only costs me less than half of what the attorney will charge. What should I do?
Yeah, so, I think the bigger picture question is here, what stuff do I hire out and what stuff do I do myself? So if, Bob, if you're asking this question, chances are you probably shouldn't file the LLC by yourself and save some money. All this legal stuff for me personally, I sub it out, Jill. I get somebody else to do it. You can save a lot of money doing certain stuff yourself, but it's got to be stuff that you're good at. Mm-hmm. Like if you're going to renovate a house and you're a contractor, you should be the contractor on the job. For me to renovate a house and pick up a hammer is a super bad idea, so I hired that out. So Bob, if you're an attorney, do it yourself. If you can't stand the thought of legal stuff like me, hire a lawyer. They should charge about $500 is pretty reasonable for that, by the way. Mm-hmm. If you do it yourself, it's about $100.
Well, yeah, and this is something that we talk about all the time. It's like, okay, I spent 8 hours learning how to do X. Oh, great. Did I really save money?
Exactly,
No.
Jill. Well, that's a perfect way to say that. You nailed it.
I didn't save any money. I would have been better off by paying somebody else to do that because I'm over here doing this, which I do well and does make money. So,
I hear you say this to customers all the time or potential members. I
do.
I started this in 1999 and almost 16,000 deals later, I made a ton of mistakes. So you can do that. If you're thinking about getting into real estate investment and, you can spend 15 years working it out.
I did.
Or you can buy some of our material, which in the scheme of things is pretty darn cheap, and skip like 12 years.
I did. I used that just recently. It was cracking me up. I'm like, well, you want to get to where we are? All right. Well, I'll talk to you in 16 years. Let me know how that goes.
Hey, if you have a question or you want to be on the show, call 800-725-8816 and get your game on. When you call that number, we'll have you on the show. If you're a super boring Eeyore type person, don't even bother to pick up the phone.
Hi, my name is Stan, and I have a question.
Oh my gosh, you're killing me already.
Right?
Okay, so what we're here to talk about today is some people get it and some people don't. And why the heck is this important anyway? Well, here's why. Let's start with who gets it and who doesn't. Let's start with describing that person, Joe. What do you say?
Okay.
So this is what I tell my sixth grader. When he says something like, God, this guy, I'm going to kick this guy's butt in my math class. And so it ends up from dads being like this. There's always one person in every crowd, every office, every classroom, every REI group, every lecture hall, always one person that just doesn't get it. And they cause a lot of problems. They're the lowest common denominator. They cause a lot of problems for people who do get it. Let me give you an example. A lot of years ago, I got a speeding ticket, like every red-blooded American. And In Arizona, you can go to traffic school. And so if you only have one a year, you get a freebie. You go to traffic school, you got to sit there for 4 hours, get educated about why you shouldn't speed. And they don't report it to the insurance company. It's a pretty good deal all the way around. So I wish more things were like that, where you could just get some education, and you got to pay for it. But, like it or not, you become a better driver after those 4 hours. Maybe safer, let's say. And the insurance company gets screwed, which I really love. So in this class, I sit down. It's like 6 p.m. And the first thing the instructor says is, we're scheduled to be out of here at 10 o'clock. It's 6 o'clock now. But I'm going to cut this short if everybody's cool. Does anybody have a problem with that? And everybody looks around and says, well, why the heck would we have a problem with getting out of this class faster? So, and the instructor says, well, let me tell you. I said this one time to a class, and everybody said, awesome. And then somebody in the class reported the instructor. They called their boss and said, I paid for 4 hours. I expect to get 4 hours. That person doesn't get it. So this is how I use it as a gauge. People who do get it in a group like that all kind of have the same end goal, right? Everybody who's listening to this show probably wants to buy stuff for half, specifically real estate. And that's our end goal. Maybe there's some person who listens to the show regularly and it has a notepad, and they're trying to, they're waiting for us to screw up, me and Jill. They're waiting for us. They're checking our facts, and they love to find people who maybe don't use perfect grammar, some stuff that's spelled wrong, a whole thing like that. Person doesn't get it. So what do? You get rid of those people, man. Keep the good ones. Keep the people in your life and in your effort, whatever it is. Ours happens to be buying property for half. Keep the people in your life and surround yourself with these people who get it. Jill's raising her hand in the studio. It's hilarious.
Can I tell you how I can tell who gets it, who doesn't? Because I didn't want you to jump ahead, and I wanted to share my thoughts on this. How I can tell the people that get it and the people that don't is because they're going somewhere. Number one, I mean they're making forward progress in whatever they're doing. They get it. It's whatever it is, it's working, and whatever they do, it comes easy to them. And I think that
Wait a
they're
minute.
on the right path.
I've heard you say this before.
I know.
Wait a minute. You think it's supposed to be easy?
Yeah.
I love this philosophy. Go ahead.
Okay.
I want every listener to hear this.
So here it is. So they're going somewhere. It comes easy to them. And you know what? And here's the end result. They're pretty darn happy because they're true to themselves and doing whatever it is that makes them happy. For example, I am 100% sure that somewhere out there, I haven't found him yet, but
there's Mr. Right for you somewhere out there.
No, that's not what I was going to say. Please listen to me.
That would have been awesome.
No, I am 100% sure that there's somewhere out there.
We'll find Mr. Right for you tonight,
Oh,
Joe.
stop it. That's not what I was going to say. Please. No, there's a bank teller who is very happy to be a bank teller. And nothing more than a bank teller. They're really good at their job. They don't just sit there and say next, you know what I mean? And they don't roll their eyes because you need a whatever, and you could just tell that this is the only job I could get right now. This is it. This is not where I want to be. And they're just kind of, it's painful. No, but I'm serious. So it comes easy to them. They're happy there. They don't want to change anything. They're being true to themselves because they just really want to be a bank teller. You know what I mean? To pick on bank tellers, but
yeah, sure.
Do you understand my philosophy?
Sure. Yeah, and you're right.
So that's not for me, and then that same person, by the way, they can't even imagine doing what we're doing. I'm sure talking on the air would freak them out. Speaking in front of people would be like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And you want to take my picture or video me or and have me do something? Hell no. So there you go.
I completely agree.
Thank you.
One of the things that you started to say it, one of the things I've heard you say in the past, and the first few times I heard you say it, I freaked out. But now I completely agree with it is, If it comes really, really easy to you, if something comes easy to you, pursue it. Mm-hmm. If it's really, really hard and you got to work at it really hard, it might not be for you. Here's an example I've used is math. If you're in school, don't listen to this. If you're just terrible at math, I mean, there's some people that are born bad at math, and that's fine. Don't do something that has to do with math after you're out of school. I'm not saying don't work at it in school and get the grade, but for a living where you're going to spend the rest of your life doing it 8 to 10 hours a day, make sure it doesn't involve math. You're going to pull your hair out.
I agree.
But if you're a great writer, you love English, pursue something like, don't bang your head against the wall because you think stuff is supposed to be hard that's valuable. Mm-hmm. There's some people that don't get it, that they don't get that.
Right.
I don't know what that is. It's fine. It doesn't matter.
Thank you, Stephen, for saying that, because I do remember the first time I said that, you looked at me cross-eyed like, what are you smoking? Or something.
What I took it to mean was, be lazy and just don't do the hard stuff, only do the fun, easy stuff. And that's not what you meant.
No, it's kind of like you and I talk about what we do. This whole thing found you, Stephen.
Yeah, I know. You're exactly right, Jill. Go ahead.
No, that was it.
Yeah, sometimes I wonder, I had this philosophical, we had dinner with some people, Jill and I, recently, and this topic came up, and I said, I don't think you choose what you do for a living. I think it chooses you. Mm-hmm. And everybody kind of got all philosophical and said, in the end, everybody said, yeah, you're right. I mean, I think they kind of looked at what they do and did for a living, and they ended up saying, yeah, I didn't choose that. I chose some stuff in the beginning, like I chose accounting, but man, I don't do anything like that anymore at all. Something else chose me.
But on a good note, you also learned how to use that with what you really want to do. Yeah. So here's one thing I find is really interesting, especially in our world, because there's a lot of people in our community that this is not their first gig. This is their retirement gig or something else they've always wanted to do, or a great thing it's a side thing for them. Some people get hung up on, well, I did this, I made my bed, I should lie in it, whatever. You know what I mean? I've got this far, I should probably follow through. Why? If you're still miserable, why are you doing that? Does that make sense?
Yeah, and I agree completely.
So it's okay to change gears at any point in your life if what really has been singing to you all this time. Stephen, like you and your singing career, no one knows that you really sing. Just kidding.
I can't sing at all.
I know it.
It's hilarious.
Wouldn't that be funny? It'd be funny, but like, there's somebody out there that secretly wanted to do something very creative, but they're afraid to do it because, I don't know, whatever. And they're probably good at it. Uh-huh. It's okay.
Like there's television shows like that, where they audition people and some of them can sing and some of them can't. It didn't stop them from having the dream.
Right.
And making it that far to the show.
Right.
So now that you have the right crew, you've separated the people that get it and don't get it, whatever you're trying to do. Make a plan, get the right information, and implement the plan with some source of inspiration. What? What the hell is he talking about? You need information and inspiration to do anything. This is the if-then segment. If you do X, then Y will happen. If you want to buy 40 acres for $3,000 total price, then submit 1,000 written offers specifically to property owners who own 40-acre properties with an assessed value of $10,000 or less in an area where you think this is going to work. So if you want to buy 40 acres for $3,000, Joe, you send out a bunch of written offers to 40-acre property owners with certain characteristics, and somebody sends one back. Why is it so hard, you think, to communicate this sometimes to people?
I have no idea.
Maybe they don't, they don't get it. Some people get it, some people don't.
That's right.
Some people take that information immediately and say, well, wait a minute, that's all you have to do? All I got to do is write a bunch of letters, a bunch of offers to people, get it in the mail for the stuff that I want to buy for half price or some number. And then I just wait to see which ones sign it and send it back.
Yep.
That's it, man. That's the whole secret right there. You need a great data to do this, and you need an easy, workable source and way to get the stuff in the mail so you're not pulling your hair out.
Yep.
Does it work everywhere on every product? No, what works in Montana might not work in Manhattan. But the concept works in Manhattan. What the hell is he talking about now?
Mm-hmm.
What works in Manhattan is this. So forget about the 40 acres for $3,000. It's never going to happen there. Let's get to reality. What will work in Manhattan is this. If the average price of the properties that you seek to buy in Manhattan is $500 a square foot, that's what they're listed for, that's what they're going for. Brokers are talking about it all day long at $500 a foot. Submit a written offer to the properties that you might want to buy. Pick out 20, 30, 80, 100 of them and write an offer for $400 a foot. Why does this work? Because you're going to catch that owner, that 40-acre owner, and that Manhattan office building owner on a day where there's some trigger that's going to cause them to sign it and send it back. What are the triggers that cause people to sell anything? Maybe the owner passed away and the person who is the heir to the estate or inherited the property just wants to get rid of it like today. And they're willing to take the convenience of having you buy it over the laborious period of marketing, whatever. It works with anything that is associated with the database. It works with buying classic cars, buying an RV, an airplane, a mobile home park,
Vacation
a
properties.
hospital, an apartment building. Did I ever say that? It works
matter.
for all that stuff. That's what we do here at Land Academy. We teach this concept.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, if you have a question and you want to be on the show, call 800-725-8816. Jill, 725-8816. Jill, tell us something inspirational. I'm information. You're inspiration. What's your inspiration of the day? Am I putting you on the spot?
Inspiration of the day. I like this. This is a new throw it at Jill segment. Let's see what happens.
Throw Jill under the bus.com.
That's exactly it. All right, here's my inspiration. Hang in there. You might get thrown under the bus. If someone throws you under the bus, learn to think fast on your toes. Come up with something. It's gonna be okay. I don't know. Well, I'm trying to think about. This is good. As I'm trying to dream up something right now, Stephen is actually adding a little segment in our in our
like Kiss a Surfer. That would be a good one.
No, you know what?
It's actually silly.
Here's my inspiration for the day. All right. Do something today that makes you feel really good.
Oh.
My thing today is I'm going to, when we're done with the show, I'm going to walk downstairs. I'm going to take off my sandals. I'm going to walk in the sand and put my feet in the water at the beach. That's what makes me feel good. Doesn't do it for everybody, but a simple little thing for me, putting my feet in the water makes me so happy I cannot tell you.
Then you go back to work?
And then I go back to work.
That's why this works, Jill. Because I don't think of stuff like that. I just sit here for 10 hours straight.
You do.
And it's not good.
I know.
I like your way.
Thank you. So that's my inspiration of the day. Do a little something. Take 5-10 minutes out. Do something that makes you happy.
How about drink a bottle of whiskey? That makes me happy.
Yeah,
sometimes.
no, not during the day on your lunch break. I would say let's not do that. But hey, you want to go to Starbucks and splurge on that $4.50 latte that you've been, depriving yourself of because you're on a budget? Go have your stupid latte. Big deal. Have fun. So that sings to some people.
My middle name is Jack.
I know.
And we could be called Jack and Jill. Some people have brought that up to our attention, some producer type people recently. What do you think, Jill? I mean, I'm Steven.
I'm not sure
Steven
it's catchy
Jackie
enough.
Tall.
I don't know. Jack and Jill, I'm not sure it's going to take off.
Let's try it. Ready?
Okay.
Join us in another episode where Jack and Jill discuss how to use information, that's me, and how to use inspiration, Jill's have, to get just about anything you want. We use it every day to buy property for half and sell it immediately. Good show, Jill.
That's fun.
We're trying to work out the new format, in case you haven't noticed.
I like it.
Some of it works, some of it doesn't. That's okay. We'll get it straight.
I think it's great. It's fun.
I do too. I like it.
It's fun for me. So good stuff. I like talking about this stuff. You know why? Here's why I like it. Because so much of what we're doing right now, I know we're going to get back to some of our we do a lot of business, really focused topics.
Yeah, information. And this is a little more inspirational.
Right. Now we're doing a little more inspirational stuff and motivational. And that's
you really
the
need
fun
both,
part
like we
for
talked
me.
about. I mean, you really need You can get all the great information in the world, and but without motivation and a source of inspiration, it's useless.
Mm-hmm. Well, and if you're motivated and inspired, you won't stop. You'll find the information that you need. Maybe you don't have the information right there ahead of you, right staring at you in a book or in a manual or whatever it is. You'll go find it because
we should do a show on that.
Yeah,
Which one comes first, motivation or information?
I think motivation.
So information motivates me. It's like if I listen to this show a lot of years ago before I started this land thing, and I got it, like I get a source of information like, oh, wait a minute, I actually still remember this moment when I found out about the data source that we now sell. Mm-hmm. And that motivated me to, it all hit me like a ton of bricks. Like, wait a minute, I can find all in one database. I can find all the 40-acre property owners in northern Arizona and send them a letter. That motivated me. I didn't sleep that night. I'm working it out in my head about how I'm going to attack this thing. And I think a lot of people, it's the other way. So, they start with some type of motivational thing, and then they go out and seek the tools and the information to do it. I think you're one of those people. Mm-hmm. You're painting your nails again?
Yes, I am. I'm sorry. You can always tell when I zone out.
I know.
I am so sorry. It's just funny. Sometimes, you know what it is?
Are you reading something?
No, it's you start talking and it's very calming, and I get lost in what you're talking about.
Oh my gosh.
No, and in a really good, healthy
you
way.
Space out. You stop listening.
Just
is what you mean.
Mesmerized. Because it's all so dreamy.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I know.
Go put your feet in the sand, man.
I will go put my feet in the sand. Okay.
Hey, let's go buy something for half price today and resell it. Jack and Jill, information and inspiration.
We hold a drawing to win a free property every month. Enter to win by reviewing this show on iTunes and downloading our free ebook at landacademy.com.
If you want to get involved or you need more information about our profitable, niche real estate operation, call 480-467-0359. You just might get Jill at the other end of the line.
landacademy.com. You are not alone in your real estate ambition.